This happened last month, and I'm still in shock. I was preparing for my date and I went to the mall and bought a special dress for the night. My boyfriend Mike had invited me for the dinner. I was super excited, of course. I put the dress in my bag and drove to my boyfriend's house. It was full moon night and the stars were twinkling in the sky. I was in a full romantic mood. I was driving while imagining how wonderful and magical that night was going to be. After an hour of drive, I was finally there. Mike's house. I got out of my car and knocked on the door. My boyfriend opened the door. "Hey, I'm so glad you're here, Amelia. I was waiting for you." "But that goes without saying," he said with a big smile on his face. He took me to the dinner table while holding my hand. I felt very loved by him. He prepared dinner for me. It made me feel very happy and lucky to have him as my life partner. "Oh my goodness, did you prepare all this for me?" I asked him with a big smile on my face. "Of course, my darling. This is all for you only. I've never done such a thing for anybody else in my life. Only you deserve all this," he said, and hugged me. I love Mike because of his caring and loving nature. We both sat on our chairs at the beautiful table and enjoyed our meals. "Yummy, it's delicious. I can't believe that you cook such delicious food." I appreciated his cooking. "Thank you, Amelia. You are my life. Anything for you," he said, and made me blush. We finished the food and drank beer together. After finishing my beer, I told him I was going to the washroom. I changed my clothes and wore a beautiful red dress. I was anxious to see his reaction to my little sexy surprise. When I came from the washroom wearing the hot red dress, Mike's jaws dropped and he told me that I looked amazing, and he stared at me for a long time. I could feel love in the air as we began to move closer to each other. He grabbed me and I felt so relaxed that I closed my eyes. I felt like someone was standing in front of me. As I opened my eyes, I saw nothing. After some time, moments of love, so to speak, Mike fell asleep immediately. Eventually, my own eyes got heavy and I closed them. In my mind, in my thoughts, however, something bizarre was taking place. I was having blurry visions of a woman figure as she was sitting on the bed. I opened my eyes widely in fear. There was no one. I thought it must have been my imagination. The excitement and the beer playing tricks on me, finally I fell asleep. I came back to my senses when I felt something heavy on my body. I thought it was my boyfriend. To be sure, I tried to move one of my hands, but it froze. I couldn't move it. I tried to move my head slowly. It felt like an impossible task. Finally, I turned around and barely opened my eyes. I was still able to see that my boyfriend was sleeping. Now I was feeling like my heart was throbbing. I could even hear that. As I turned my head, I saw someone sitting on my body. A woman. That woman. Her pale face was so scary. The anger on her big, menacing, dark eyes was so intense that I could feel it. It appeared as she was dressing a black shadow instead of real clothes. I was not able to move and speak. I was not able to blink. "You did that wrong," she finally whispered, and then she continued. "He is mine. Mine only. Leave my husband or I will kill you." Suddenly, I could hear a loud bird noise. I woke up sweating. It was already morning and I was still shocked in fear. Maybe it was a nightmare, but it felt so disturbingly real. I whispered to myself. My boyfriend was also awake and he greeted me. "Good morning." "Mike, are you married? Please don't lie to me," I asked. "Oh, I was going to tell you about that. Yes, I was married, but my wife died in a car accident 3 years ago. Why do you ask?" After listening to him, I grabbed my bag and walked towards the main door. I had to leave. What happened, Julie? I'm sorry, but I was about to tell you. It's not like I was cheating on you. I had to move on with my life, he shouted, running after me still half naked. I didn't pay any attention and I didn't turn back. As fast as I could, I got into my car and drove back to my house. Throughout the next days, Mike kept calling me and sending me messages and emails. I didn't want to reply because I didn't want anything to do with the ghost of his dead wife. Unfortunately, I was soon to realize that wasn't my choice. The ghost of Mike's wife is now inside me. It lives in my mind and in my brain. It shares my body with my own soul. I was forced to go back to Mike by the ghost of his dead wife. Emma was her name. Now Mike has 2 women all to himself, me and Emma, although he has no idea, but I do. I wish I could get back my old body, but for the moment I have no idea how. And if I can't, I just might kill myself, if it's the only option, because I can't take this for too much longer. To be a prisoner in my own body, I might as well be a free ghost, instead of a living woman trapped with no possible escape. I have to stop recording myself now, because I feel that Emma is about to take control of me again. Goodbye to anyone who may be watching this. Ghosts are real, and many of them are not friendly at all.